Welcome to the Retiring Canada podcast, where our mission is to educate and empower you to make the most informed, rational, and productive financial decisions. Hosted by certified financial planner, author, and chartered investment manager Michael Isbister. You'll go behind the scenes to uncover the tips and strategies to help you invest smarter, optimize your retirement income, and reduce the amount of tax you pay. Michael is an investment advisor with Fundamental Wealth, a trade name of Harbourfront Wealth Management, a CERO dealer. And now, here's your host, Michael Isbister.
Hello everyone, and welcome again to the Retiring Canada podcast. In today's episode, we're going to discuss steps you should take if you want to retire in 2026. Specifically, I'm going to chat about the number one concern I consistently hear from retirees, the importance of being confident with your retirement decision, 5 tips if you plan to retire in 2026, focusing on the softer points of retirement, and lastly, as always, a few action items for you to consider. Well, hello everyone, and Happy New Year. I hope the first couple days of 2026 have been kind to you. Admittedly, January always takes a bit of getting used to with the holidays behind us and long, cold days still to follow. This is usually the time where my wife and I try to escape down south for some respite from the cold, but this year will be a bit different for the Isbister household. My wife and I are expecting our third child at the end of this month, so we're sticking close to home for obvious reasons. We just moved our other boys, who are 3.5 and 1.5, into one room with a bunk bed. And so needless to say, sleep has been a premium right now in our house, and it will only get tested even more once new baby arrives. So wish me luck. Anyway, at my stage of life, I am far, far away from retirement. And while my wife and I are actively planning our own retirement, we don't plan on checking that box in 2026, unfortunately. However, for you, this might be the year you want to retire. In December, I opened up my schedule to subscribers of my newsletter for a 30-minute chat about what was on their mind when it came to their personal finances. On that day, I had 6 conversations with people from across Canada, and regardless of their geographic location, they nearly all had the same question and concern. Number 1, am I paying too much in tax? And number 2, I want to retire this year and want to make sure my plan is in good order. This was the case with 4 of the 6 households I spoke with. One or both of the spouses was looking to retire in 2026, with some as early as February. Their core concern, other than tax, was, can my 2026 retirement plan actually work? All of these households currently work with another advisor, but explicitly told me that they did not trust the advice they were given, or just didn't have confidence that they could actually pull the trigger and retire. At the time of me writing this episode, 3 of the 6 households are currently going through our fundamental retirement plan process, and 2 others are still gathering information. As Benjamin Franklin once said, failing to plan is planning to fail. Now, while I would strongly suggest you and yours solidify your retirement plan well in advance, if you do find yourself in a scenario where you're wanting to retire in 2026, let's discuss how to triage your retirement planning to help you get closer to retiring with confidence. Here are 5 steps you should take if you are a 2026 retirement hopeful. Number 1, make a budget. Knowing what you spend is incredibly powerful and is one of the cornerstones of long-term retirement sustainability. If you're solely relying on investment returns to carry your spending needs, you are exposing yourself to a high risk of running out of money. Whether you have $1 million in retirement assets or $5 million in retirement assets, It is crucial for you to get a sense of how you spend your money month to month and year over year. Furthermore, you need to visualize what those first few years of retirement will look and feel like. Will you actually be spending more than usual with travel? Are there major renovations you plan to get done now that you have the time and attention to focus on those sorts of things? What you spend specifically on the stuff you want and not necessarily need is one retirement variable that is in your control to some extent. Yes, inflation will impact these numbers, there is no doubt, but having a grip on your spending is the first step to gaining retirement confidence. When we go through the income planning portion of our fundamental retirement plan, we talk extensively about spending and stress test your plan to ensure you can stay retired. We like to model our retirees' income with higher spending amounts in early years and lower spending amounts as they age. This is called the go-go years, slow-go years, and no-go years. Step number 2. Review your investment accounts and determine the suitability of the underlying investments. It is crucial that you have a basket of globally diversified investments as you near and enter retirement. This diversification should help to ensure that there are no big bets in your portfolio, while also ensuring you aren't overly conservative, exposing yourself to the damaging effects of inflation over the long run. Now, there are a multitude of ways advisors may suggest building a retirement portfolio. But we suggest you construct a portfolio that is not only suitable for your risk tolerance, timeline, and expectations, but one that also coordinates with your overall retirement income and tax plan. We call our process the fundamental retirement plan because we believe all the decisions you make are interrelated. If you work with an investment-only firm or advisor, you may be putting your long-term retirement plans at risk. Number 3, request a pension estimate for your CPP. If you have a defined benefit plan, do the same. The decision of when you start CPP and OAS is absolutely crucial, because once you start these benefits, you have a very narrow window of time to stop and reverse the payments if you discover you started them too early. We have come across a few scenarios where after we go through the FRP process, we discover the optimal start date should have actually been after age 65 or even later. In some cases, we're able to reverse the decision because it landed within CRA's timeline. And in other scenarios where the ship has now sailed, we must now plan our income and drawdown strategy with a suboptimal government pension. If you're under the age of 60, say you're retiring around 55 or so, you still want to request these estimates as the drawdown strategy you set up prior to starting the government pension should be optimized over the long run. Step number 4, develop a tax-wise decumulation plan. In English, this is the creation of a plan that factors in all of your sources of income to help determine what accounts you should draw down first to provide an income. For some, this may mean focusing on RRSP and RIF accounts early, while for others, a deferral of these accounts may make some sense. Everyone's scenario is unique. Some of you have corporations, some do not. Some have rental properties, while others have all of their assets tied up in large taxable pensions. Wherever you find yourself today, there is a decumulation plan that works for you, especially in those first few years of retirement where the decisions you make or choose not to make will have a lasting impact on your long-term retirement sustainability. Number 5, ensure your estate planning documents are in good order. This includes not only a will, but also a living will or advanced healthcare directive and a power of attorney. This is what if planning. And while some of you may question, well, how does this impact my retirement? Don't be mistaken. Not having these estate documents in place could have a devastating impact on your retirement and long-term outlook. Adding in this level of planning to your retirement plan ensures you will be cared for if long-term care needs arise or in the event you pass away before your spouse. We need to be crystal clear that he or she will be cared for and can stay retired. While the old adage, "it's never too late to start," rings true in many scenarios, when it comes to retirement planning, I don't think it could be further from the truth, especially if you're planning to retire within a year or you just retired. The decisions you have made and will make right now are going to ripple throughout your retirement. Not enough diversification in your portfolio? What if the markets tank? Start CPP and OAS early? What if you have a significant tax liability trapped in your RRSP accounts? Paying an investment fee north of 1%? How does that impact your ability to retire and stay retired? You do all the retirement planning for your household? What if you were to pass away suddenly? How would your spouse manage? Retirement should be an exciting time of your life. Once you can work through the numbers and check the box on a sustainable retirement income, you can start to focus on the soft points of retirement, which cannot be optimized in a spreadsheet or with planning software. How will you spend your free time? How will you find purpose? How will you maintain relationships and your social circle? How will you stay fit and focus on your health? If we can provide you the confidence and clarity with regards to your retirement income plan, the hope is that you now have the mindset to focus on you and what your retirement will actually look like, and not stress about your investments. Okay, so that'll do it for today. Here are your action items for today's episode. First off, if you're retiring this year and you've been listening to the podcast for some time, I imagine you've been getting your ducks in a row. If you're looking for a second opinion from a group of retirement specialists, I encourage you to check us out. Second, if you're still a few years out from retirement, don't wait until the bitter end to take things seriously. You might be surprised how many decisions you need to make well in advance of your retirement date to get the most out of your money over the long run. Lastly, please be sure to share this podcast to anyone that you know wants to retire in 2026. All right, so that'll do it for today's episode. Make sure you add us on all of our socials, LinkedIn and Facebook. If you're enjoying the show, please subscribe and leave us a 5-star review in your favorite podcast app. Be sure to sign up for our weekly Retiring Canada newsletter. And hey, when it comes to your retirement, don't take chances. Make a plan so you can retire with confidence.
All comments are of a general nature and should not be relied upon as individual advice. The views and opinions expressed in this commentary may not necessarily reflect those of Harbourfront Wealth Management. While every attempt is made to ensure accuracy, facts and figures are not guaranteed. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing or tax advice. Please seek advice from your accountant regarding anything raised in the content of the podcast regarding your individual tax situation. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning.